everybody? How you doing? I was over here all distracted, trying to get a little something ready, because they're not in order. But man, I hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday evening, the final Sunday before Halloween. So hopefully you're doing some Halloween partying and stuff this weekend. Having a good old time. We're going to talk horror movies. I should be joined momentarily by Mr. John Ward. We're going to talk about a couple movies that we have seen, which we kind of have different views on. So another passionate film debate that John and I have sometimes. I'm trying to figure out how I show. Sort by. I need. When I rated it. That's not the newest. Oh well, but this is okay. Anyways, I was going to show you this Letterboxd, like what all I've been looking at lately in the way of movies and stuff. But I thought I was going to be able to make it a little bit bigger, but it's not really cooperating with me. But and I don't know why it's not putting them in order. But I recently watched Venom, the Last Dance, and then the movie Carved, Smile 2, Daddy's Head, Apartment 7A, Terrifier 3, Hold Your Breath, Conclave, Speak No Evil. But these are so far. There's so many other ones that I've watched more recently than this. I don't know why it's not showing them. So we'll get over that. But on as far as the diary goes, I just watched last night Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, which was a pretty fun movie. I was kind of surprised. I didn't think after Paranormal Activity 5, I was like, kind of wrote that franchise off. So I never saw 6. And then, so this is the 7th one, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. But I just recently watched Sinister 1 and Sinister 2. We can talk about those. The House of the Devil, an older Ty West movie that I love, man. Ty West, such a great director. The Hangman, which was like, a movie called Baghead. And then Azrael, the new movie with Samara Weaving. I just watched that. And then Conclave, Venom, The Last Dance, Oculus, Mousetrap, and a few others. So we're going to talk about whatever movie comes to mind. No particular order or anything this evening, just hanging out, talking movies. But let me say hello to everybody here. Antonis, what's up? Brian Sanchez, what's up? Robert C., how you doing? I'm doing well. How you doing? Watch your review for Venom 3. All right, what'd you think? What'd you think, Antonis? Major Reeves. Let's see. So hyped for Halloween. Yep. I know you don't like Terrifier movies, but now that we have 3, which would you say is your favorite? Ooh, tough call. Tough call. Let me think about that. We'll get John Ward in here in just a second because I'm sure he has an opinion on that. Have not seen 3 yet. Nocturno, what up, Nocturno? Man, you guys suck. Oh wait, no, you didn't go to the signing, did you? I don't think you went. I thought, were you out of town? Daniel, what's up? Pamper Pets, what up? Well, thank you very much for that there, Pamper Pets. But here we go. Look at this. I haven't done this in a while, and I pay for it, so I might as well use it. So here we go. Oh, look at that. There's somebody at the door. Hello, John Ward.
Where am I?
Oh, you're there somewhere.
Where am I?
Oh man. I thought you couldn't hear me. Thought you couldn't hear me for a second. I was going to be like, damn it. Oh man. But how are you? Long time no chat, sir.
I know. It's it feels like it's been all day.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it. Time flies when you're having fun. But hey, we'll see how it goes tonight. But anyways, John Ward has some things coming up on his channel very soon. So do you want to enlighten everybody what and when you have coming up on your channel?
Yes, I got 2 videos coming up this week with OGP, and one of them is 13 horror flicks you might have missed, which actually is 26 horror films, because he does 13, I do 13.
Nice.
And then with OGP, and then Donald Wills, OGP joined us for film discussion, where we talk about the John Carpenter Apocalypse trilogy. And that's a long one. That one's like 3 hours long. And the other one was 2 hours long. And then I have a solo video coming out where I do review Smile 2, but I talk about Smile 1 and the short film that the movies are based on. So those will all be out this week.
Smile. So yeah, very cool. Lots of fun stuff coming up over there. And I'm gonna show, let's see here. Is that what I'm looking at? Oh, yes. Here we go. So you can find John's link. Let me pause us so we're not moving around. That would be weird. But if you are watching this here video with the two of us right now as we speak live, you scroll down, there's your comments, and you keep going down into recent watch reviews where I talk about the description. You go in there, and then you scroll down here, and there it is, John Ward, Dark Park Films. You can follow John right here. Maybe.
Yay! Thank you.
Zoom in on that. But right by Bulleit Blake and My Killer Podcast and Creep I.E Con to get your tickets, there is John Ward in there. So
thank you very much.
There you are. There you can see it. So you just go onto the video and scroll down, and you find it, and there is that link. So be sure to head on over and subscribe to John's channel so you can check out those fun videos and all the other content John has coming up. So
yay, thanks.
You may have missed. Have you seen M at the NES Monk lately? Oh, have I seen Matt the NES Monk? A Fluffy Gamer? I have not seen Matt the NES Monk, nor have I seen Phat the NES Punk. That's right. And Nocturnal, I remember, because you were out of town for the concert, so you couldn't go to get the tickets. So we missed out, but Fonzo and Ortega and a lot of other people were there getting John Carpenter's autograph yesterday. What are you going to do? Wicked Network, what up? What you know, what's up, OGP and John? So I was trying to show everybody a moment ago my Letterboxd page here, and it was not cooperating. I don't know why I couldn't show everything like in order, and it's allowing me to do it with this stupid ad down here, which I can't seem to get rid of. So I guess we're going to roll with it. But movies, and now I have not included, because I recently watched movies that we're going to talk about on your channel, in The Thing and In the Mouth of Madness and Prince of Darkness. I don't think those are on here. But other movies I've watched recently include Paranormal Activity Next to Kin, which you and I talked about last night. I enjoyed it. I give it 4 stars out of 5. What was your thoughts on Next to Kin? Where do you rank that?
I would I think 4 out of 5 is a good review. I was very surprised with it. I liked both endings, because there was that alternate ending. It just kind of, I think, depends on what direction you want to take it next. But I thought, for kind of a standalone Paranormal Activity film, it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I did too. And I would love to see, although where would you go? Because we got the cop out on the run. Well, and I guess we have, spoiler alert. Here's the thing. Some of these movies, we're going to be talking spoilers. I'll try and remind you, spoiler alert, everybody that's hanging out with us watching. I will try and remind you of spoiler alerts before they come. But Antonis, you don't have to worry about Terrifier 3, because we already talked about that. But some of these movies are going to have spoiler alerts in them. And Paranormal Activity Next to Kin came out 3 years ago. So I think it's okay to throw out a spoiler there. But so we had the 2 people survive, drive off, and then we have the cop and or the zombie, or the demon, whatever that was, cop or the demon guy, take off after them, depending on which ending you watch or prefer. And I guess so you could follow them and have the demon come get them, I guess, for a follow-up to that. And hey, if it's done right, I'd kind of like to see that.
Yeah, from what I've read is they do want to do another one, but it's going to go off of, it's going to follow the original series. It won't follow this, I guess.
Okay.
That's just from what I've read. They're going to go back to the original stories, but the demon that is in Next of Kin is the same like demon that's in all the other movies. So there's that one connection to the other films, and that's it, cool. The demon. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that would be fun to see. And I just recently watched Sinister and Sinister 2, which I couldn't remember if I'd seen them. And Sinister 2 I had not seen. Sinister 1 I had seen, but I had forgotten about it. So I rewatched that one and then Sinister 2. Have you seen those movies?
Yeah, I own both of them. I really liked Sinister. It's very creepy. And I did like Sinister 2. So I think that you're probably would say Sinister would be 4 out of 5 and Sinister 2 would be 3 out of 5. So yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah, and so I have Sinister at a 3.5 out of 5. And it might grow on me. But Sinister 2, yeah, 3. And so the first one, it's funny because there's a list that Fangoria put out, or maybe Fangoria just shared it, but somebody made this list of the scariest movies of all time, and they have the first Sinister movie as the scariest movie of all time. So I commented on their post saying that I was going to rip their list to shit on YouTube. So, don't get me wrong, Sinister, that's a pretty intense movie. And when you're worried about, your family or kids or whatever, that adds an extra element of fear to things. So, I kind of get it. And I would be okay with putting Sinister in the top 10, maybe even top 5 scariest movies of all time. But I don't, how do you put that above The Exorcist? How do you put that above the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, it's creepy. It's got disturbing stuff. I mean, I think it's the first one, isn't it? Where the family is hung on the tree and then like the alligator is eating them, something like that. Or is that, or am I combining 1 and 2?
Well, a lot of the videos from 1 we saw again in 2. Because it was, the videos were recorded as the families are getting killed. And so, this is funny. I just saw a post as I'm looking for that article. I see a post that, the Mahal brothers were hanging out with, Mr. Ferrante, who directed, Sharknado, recently, yesterday or today or something. And, okay, so here we go. Sinister once again named scariest. Okay, this is where it gets hysterical. This list gets after this. There's a couple names on here that are pretty good. But this list is batshit. So let me take down my diary here for a minute. We'll get back to it, but this is interesting. I kind of like to talk about this list and present. I hate when they have so many commercials and ads and everything else. I worry about like getting flagged or whatever, but let's see how this works. Bump. Okay. Let's see if I can make this bigger here. This way. And what about a little bit of this way? Trying to make them big enough so everybody can read them. But so here's the list. God dang your ads. So they have the scariest movie of all time as Sinister, then the second as Host, then the third scariest movie of all time as Skinamarink. Isn't Skinamarink a movie that everybody said was boring as shit and nothing happened? So how is that?
Some people love that film. I haven't seen it, but yeah, I mean, it's like a camera that just where it's like aimed at a door for 30 minutes and it's just noise. It's like nothing from what I've seen on it. I'm looking at these and they're all more current films. I don't know. I disagree with almost every single thing on here so far.
That is the problem. That is the problem. People go out and they make these lists. Oh, the greatest of all time or whatever. And they base them off who they know. It's like we hear this argument a lot. Who's the greatest basketball player of all time? Young people always say, oh, LeBron James. I'm sorry. That's because you never saw Michael Jordan play. But then a lot of people go, well, oh, you're saying Michael Jordan because you never saw Wilt Chamberlain play. Or, you've never seen the older, players that were before your time. So it's when you don't include everybody or you haven't done the proper homework, it's hard to have any respect for these lists at all. But the fact that Fangoria stands by this and has posted it a second time, I find kind of interesting. But Insidious and Insidious 2, well, the Insidious and the Conjuring franchises are good movies. Some of those are pretty intense. I don't know that Insidious and the Conjuring deserve to be at 4 and 5.
So here's my thing, and I discussed this with my coworker the other day. Movies don't scare me. They don't. They're movies. Yeah. So when a friend of mine a long time ago, now an ex-friend, he goes, I'm going to go see that movie Buried with Ryan Reynolds. Oh, I hope my claustrophobia doesn't kick in. I'm like, why would it why would it kick in? He's like, oh, well, the whole movie, it's like 6 feet underground and he's trapped in this coffin in the entire movie. Yeah. I'm like, but you're not in the coffin. Yeah. You're in a movie theater. You can clearly look to your left and right and see exit doors and chairs, and you can walk out at any time. Oh, you just don't have a creative imagination. It's like when, I think it was like Siskel and Ebert when they reviewed Open Water. And I'm pretty sure it was Ebert who goes, when the movie was done, I went outside and kissed the ground that I wasn't in the ocean. You were never in the ocean. Yeah. You were in a movie theater. I don't understand this. So when people sit there and say something is the scariest, I don't understand that. And like everybody told me, Smile 2 is so incredibly violent. Wow. And all this violence, I don't know. Maybe I'm desaturated because of stuff like Terrifier 3 or just the Terrifier films in general. To me, it was just bloody. It was okay. It had blood, which was nice, but oh my God, it's not the bloodiest thing ever. So I don't get it.
Yeah. And that's where I think, everything needs to be put into perspective. And that's where I agree with you. Movies don't scare me. There'll be some times where a good jump scare will get me a little bit. But as far as making me lose sleep or having nightmares or anything like that, no. But now when it comes, especially because you mentioned the movie Buried, that is like the one movie I will never watch again because I do get extremely claustrophobic. And it's not about seeing him in that. What it does is it puts me back in a place where I was extremely claustrophobic, or if I thought about being somewhere. For example, I have to go get an MRI like November 17th. I am not looking forward to that. And they're going to have to prescribe me a drug to make me be able to go chill out and go in that MRI tube for the 20 minutes to be able to stay there without freaking out. So when I think about those things, because it takes me to that place, the claustrophobia, I really, really get. The open water stuff, like, I don't know. That's never bothered me. Nothing has ever really bothered me except for that claustrophobia. And there's a movie, one of the movies I watched recently there is some claustrophobia stuff in there that I was like, ooh, man. And it makes me just start thinking about like being stuck somewhere, not being able to move my arms and losing my mind. So I kind of understand it, but I get your perspective too on it.
Yeah, it's like I've developed claustrophobia.
Yeah.
So it bothers me in real life. But if you were to watch something like Aliens and Lance Hendrickson, Bishop, when he's going through that little tube to go from here to here, and
Oh, I
and you're
hate it.
just like, oh shit, and he's like tight, he's like right up against it. I've never gone once like, oh my god, I think, oh, that sucks, but
Yeah.
because it's so tight. But I've never been like, oh my god, I gotta leave, my claustrophobia is kicking in.
Yeah.
It's because it's a movie, and he started only 2 feet back, and he only has 3 feet to go, and they could just pop it open at any time. So
100%.
yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. House of G fam and Jeff Keaton. What's up? What's up? Insidious doesn't belong. Gotta say the very first Conjuring was very good. Yeah. The Insidious movies are hit or miss. But I still enjoy them, but I don't think they're on the list. To me, The Conjuring 2 at number 11, that's one I can get behind. The Conjuring 2, man, when the shit starts flying off the wall, I'm like, how is this lady not running the hell out of this house? The Conjuring 2 was pretty good. But Hereditary at number 6, that's another movie that I can get behind. That was pretty intense. And so putting in perspective, as far as the scariest movies of all time, I think, for us to say, it would be maybe just like what we view as like the most intense or just the best horror movies of all time. And I love Hereditary. What are your thoughts on Hereditary?
I enjoyed it, but I mean, can anybody name anything else from it except for the chick's head getting hit off by the telephone pole? I mean, I don't remember anything from that movie except for
Oh,
that.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
man, no, in the house with the thing crawling on the roof and then them out in
I
the
don't know.
playhouse outside and everything. Oh, no, yeah, I absolutely love Hereditary. I thought it was great.
I mean,
Um,
it's a good film, but it's I don't know. Stuff doesn't like for Insidious. I mean, yeah, some of the or not Insidious, the Sinister. Some of the footage that they show that the evil thing has done with like the Super 8 footage or whatever it is, that's kind of creepy. So
yeah,
I think things are creepy, but I think things that are more real, like Die Hard, let's say, for example, him running barefoot over glass
yeah,
is a lot more scary and painful to me than anything that would be in probably like Hereditary, because it's
yeah,
real, because we've all walked over something like that. It could even be a Lego and it still
yeah,
hurts.
yeah. No, and I get it, and I just and we'll agree to disagree on this one. I love Hereditary. I think it was so
It's a good
well
film.
done.
It is a good film.
But I understand what you're saying. The realism of it, and when it's plausible, the more plausible, the more scary it is. And that's why, like for me, I'm not the biggest monster movie fan because I'm not worried about Godzilla coming out of the ocean. Um,
You should.
but like the Purge, I'm not worried about a Purge, but somebody coming to my house with a gun, I would worry about that. So there's the things that really could happen, kind of get me more than supernatural or monster movies and stuff. Um, the first Smile movie, are they batshit crazy out of their mind? This doesn't belong in the top 20. It
I
was an
know
okay
people.
movie, but
I know some people who are disturbed by Smile.
hmm,
And I just watched it because I just watched Smile and Smile 2 back to back. And
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess if you saw somebody, you turned around and you saw them, smiling creepy at you, sure, that'd be, you'd be like, what the hell? But no, I would not put that on the list. But a lot of
Yeah.
people are affected by that.
Yeah. And now what about The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
No,
And now I love what's her name, the actress. But that movie, like, come on now. Come on.
no, it's a good courtroom drama based on a true story. So yeah, it's interesting to see the church side of it and then the state side of it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that it was, no, it's not scary.
Yeah. And see, and that's what's so interesting about this entire list is you are 100% correct. I don't know that any of these movies were made prior to the year 2000. When I only
Yeah.
see it
A
says 20,
Quiet
but I only
Place
see
Part
8.
2? What?
Yeah. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Are you kidding me? Quiet Place 2. So Paranormal Activity, I'm on board with. It Follows is very good. Really
Yeah,
like It
Paranormal
Follows.
Activity, I would say there I did watch that at my apartment and did have the lights off, and something did fall in my apartment and I jumped. And
Did I,
and so so I would say okay. I would say that's a good one. It Follows I liked. It's once again kind of like Smile. If you see somebody creepy walking straight to you,
yeah.
you know, you're probably going to get freaked out. Sure.
Yeah. So did I tell you the story about when I watched Paranormal Activity?
I don't think so.
So when I, a few months ago, when I sat down to watch, I was binging the franchise there, and I stopped after 5 because 5 pissed me off so bad. It was so horrible. I didn't even get to 6. So I still
Was
haven't
that
seen 6.
I thought that's the marked ones, right?
So 5, the 5th one was the marked ones. I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Wow, I love it. I think that's
Yeah,
one of the
no.
best ones. I love the whole
Yeah.
superhero aspect of it and all that stuff. I thought was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3, I like in that order. In the franchise, I like 1 the best, then 2, then 3. And I think I like the next of kin and then 4, and then I hated 5, and I've never seen Ghost Dimension yet. So but anyways, the night that I was sitting there, I'm watching the first Paranormal Activity, and um I I'd seen I'd never seen any of the sequels before. So I was like, I had to get through them all. And so I just started at 1 and was going through all of them. Well, as I'm sitting there, I'm watching the first one. It's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Lights are out, house is dark. I'm sitting here watching the movie. And right in the middle of the movie, there's the big bang and the whole house shakes and everything, freaks them all out, right? Not even kidding. In the middle of Paranormal Activity, we had a fucking like 4.0 earthquake. My whole house started shaking. You want to talk about, my heart was pounding, man. My heart was pounding. I knew it was an earthquake. I knew it wasn't a ghost or a demon or something. But like, come on.
The timing of it.
Yes, kids. I mean, here's the thing. If you're awake in the middle of the night when an earthquake hits, it startles you. And you at first you don't know, is this going to be the big one? And I know you've lived in California, about earthquakes, you've dealt
Oh,
with
I've
them.
been through a few of them. Yeah, northern and southern. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just, for me, that the timing of that with that earthquake hitting, boom, right there in the middle of watching that movie. Oh, it fucked me up, man. So yeah, it's a great memory I have from watching it. I couldn't have asked for better special effects. But so on this list, let's decide how many of these movies deserve to be in the top. In the top 20 scariest movies of all time, I will give them Sinister. Will you give them Sinister?
Of all time?
This is the top 20 of all time.
No,
Can you
I
think
can't.
you think you
I
could think of 20 scarier movies than Sinister?
I would say in anything that has an effect on the general public. So right now I can name 3, The Exorcist, Jaws, Psycho.
Yeah.
You,
Oh
you
no,
know,
no, definitely. And that's where I just wonder if I would get to 20 before I got to Sinister.
okay, so I'll just going off the list. Okay, yes, I'll give them Sinister.
Okay. And then so what about Insidious or any of the Insidious movies? I don't think I could get there.
I could give them Insidious. Yeah.
Okay. The Conjuring, I would either give them Conjuring 1 or Conjuring 2. I would give one of the Conjuring, and maybe Conjuring 2. I think I like that a little better than the first one.
I could do. I would say 1. I mean, I like part 2, but yeah, I could say 1.
Okay, so we're giving them Sinister, Insidious, Conjuring, and now not being a big fan of Hereditary, would you put that in the top 20 at all? I mean, we're talking all time, Friday the 13th and
See,
Nightmare on Elm Street and Chucky.
No, I can't even give any of these the top 20. So I'm just kind of just going off of their list. Like, can I remove this from this list or leave it on the list? Because they're not, because even something like Chucky, the first Child's Play, what do you remember from that? Chucky coming to life. You know, everybody jumped in the theater when he's like, "You're fucking bitch," and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you." That is like an iconic, famous scene. That's scary.
Yeah.
But so Sinister, okay. Insidious, okay. Conjuring, okay. Hereditary, okay. I don't know if I could do Smile.
Yeah, I'm not on board with Smile. What about Hell House? I mean, it's a good movie, but I don't think, I mean, Hell House is like, I don't know that it was that scary or intense. I put the Houses October built like well above Hell House.
I know I've seen it, but I don't remember a thing from it. I know there's like 3 of them or something.
Yeah. The first one is where they just go get to the house. But the problem with Hell House LLC is you have so much like bullshit footage because it's it's like found footage. And you have so much footage that doesn't add to the story. There's just nothing going on. And that's, like one of the things that I like with the Paranormal Activity Next to Kin is that it's a found footage film, but everything in this, it's all adding to the story. There's stuff in Hell House LLC that you're like, I don't need to see this. This is not adding anything, just some of the shit that they're doing.
I mean, if you're gonna say of all time, I would say put Blair Witch in there. The Blair Witch Project would be scarier.
Oh yeah, no, the Blair Witch Project, would be pretty high on the list. Yeah. But The Descent, The Dark and the Wicked, The Babadook, Quiet Place Part 2, Autopsy of Jane Doe, none of those make the list. Even It Follows is good, but I don't know that it makes the top 20 of all time.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, this list is just, what really cracked me up was Skinamarink. I just, Sinister, Host, Insidious, Conjuring, Hereditary. Okay, good movies. Skinamarink? What the? And it's just funny that what this is supposedly science. And so it's they put heart rate monitors on people to monitor their reaction as they were sitting there watching these movies. But here's the problem: if you only started at the year 2000, and I mean, think about it. They don't have on this list. They don't have The Exorcist. They don't have any Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. They don't have what was I just thinking of? They don't have a Saw movie. There's like Saw movies that are so much better than some of these. So
yeah, I don't get this list at all. I mean, the Omen with having the Antichrist pop up.
Right.
I mean, it's like it's almost like this is like they only did this test on people that are the age of like, I don't know, 20.
Yeah.
16 or something.
Yeah, like the world started in the the year 2001, or something, because I don't think any of these movies are 1990s or 80s or 70s.
So, no. And I got to say, the one that really confuses me is A Quiet Place Part 2. That I really do not understand that. I don't get it. I love the Quiet Place films. I own them, but no. As far as a scary movie, no.
Yeah. Even Quiet Place Day One. Have you seen the new one?
Yeah.
I liked it. It might be my favorite in the franchise.
I liked all 3. They're coming out with an actual part 3 next year. So
nice.
Because
okay.
Yeah, Day One was a spinoff.
Yeah.
So they're actually going to do a part 3.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that when you kind of get the origin story, how things happen. Like with the Walking Dead, when you got Fear the Walking Dead, I think then that started like, the day one of the zombie outbreak there. So
But what's funny is The Quiet Place Part 2 does start on day one.
oh, is it before? I
Yeah,
don't
it's
remember.
got John Kaninsky is in it, and they're like at a baseball game, and everybody's having a great time. Like the first 10 minutes of it is day one.
So Quiet Place Part 2 is actually like a prequel to Quiet Place then?
Yeah, it's like a prequel sequel.
Oh, okay. Huh. I maybe I'd have to go watch it again. I'd have to go watch it again. Yeah.
He died in
Um,
'93, a horror movie? No,
what,
no, that is no, that is not a horror movie. No.
is that a real movie even? I mean, is it like
Yes,
based off of 9/11 or something?
yeah, it's the flight that the well, my opinion on this whole thing, but I won't get
But
into it. But it
it's
is
the one that went
the
down in the field, right?
yeah, that the passengers took over, that they
Yeah.
rushed the cockpit, and they, instead of having it hit the Pentagon, they had a crash in the field.
Yeah. Huh. A Rocky Horror Picture Show scares the crap out of me. I can only watch 5 minutes of it. Are 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 we joking? Or I've never heard that before, but hey, Metal God, we're all entitled to our opinions. Am I the only person who thought Blair Witch was lame? Wow. Here's the thing. I like Blair Witch 1 and 3. 2 is like okay, but you know what? I know a lot of people that don't care for the Blair Witch movies, but I like them.
I saw it like 4 times in the theater. I own the soundtrack. I got the dossier for it. I was all about Blair Witch. Everything was Blair Witch for me. I was, because I was right there on day one for it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people misunderstand what part 2 is. That part 2 is a docudrama that was
Yeah.
based on the people who were killed, who went out on the tour. It's all still fake, but
Yeah.
it's there was a documentary that was on Sci-Fi Channel when you had to pay for Sci-Fi Channel,
Yeah.
and it was the documentary about the real life people, and how the people in Blair Witch 2 were just actors.
Yeah.
So it's, but I don't think people knew that. I think they just thought it was just a bad Blair Witch sequel. So I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and for me, in my order, I like 1, then 3, then 2, but I still enjoy it. But I like that 3 is more of a direct sequel to the first one.
I like the time travel and stuff in that. I thought was pretty good.
Yeah. So let's see. Jeff says original Halloween and Last House on the Left are high. Yeah, Last House on the Left is very high, and I think the original Halloween probably would have to be in the top 20. And it's so hard to say the scariest movies of all time, but what are your thoughts? Halloween and Last House on the Left.
I'd say no to Halloween, but Last House on the Left is disturbing because it's realistic.
Yeah.
People would abduct 2 girls and torture them. So
Yeah.
So I think it's more disturbing than scary.
Yeah. Nightwalker didn't like Blair Witch either. Okay, interesting.
Well, that which Blair Witch are we referring to though? Because that's Blair Witch or Blair Witch Project.
Yes. Well, Blair Witch was actually the second one, right?
No, we have the Blair Witch Project, Blair Witch 2, and then the Book of Shadows, and then just Blair Witch is the third one.
Okay, so Blair Witch is the third one. Yeah, but I think Nightwalker's saying like,
I'm assuming they all mean the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Curry wearing women's underwear is terrifying. Yeah, no, that's not anything that you really want to see. But hey, I mean, look at A Clockwork Orange. Man, we get to see a whole lot more of Malcolm McDowell than we ever wanted to see, but still a phenomenal movie. Any list that omits The Shining has no credibility. And that's where I think and maybe, I know, your preference, John, to the Stephen King version over, Kubrick's, but to me, if you're going to talk about scariest or greatest or whatever horror movies of all time, the fact that you don't have The Exorcist or The Shining, or like The Omen is a good one to put on that list. That those are not on there. It's just like, huh? We didn't even get into that decade. Is like, huh?
I would add The Shining to that list, even though I do prefer the miniseries because it's closer to the book. But I would add Kubrick's The Shining to the list. Sure, yeah, it's definitely got its moments.
Well, but I mean, anytime, and it's content, of the story, regardless of the execution. When you're talking about, especially like with Sinister, the idea that a member of the family is going to kill the rest of the family, the people that are supposed to protect you and love you and be there, and they're the ones, because of these spirits or demons or whatever, that are going to kill you. That is a pretty intense thing. And so I think, with Sinister and The Shining, that does add that element, with her, seeing her husband, who's kind of a dickhead to begin with, but then losing his mind, so she doesn't know is he just becoming more of a dick, or, at what point does she go like, okay, this is too much, and obviously, I think for her, when it was, I think when she finally made the decision that he lost his mind, is when she saw on the typewriter, all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. I think that was the moment, where Shelley Duvall had said like, all right, fuck this shit, we're out. But I don't know. To me, like, that has to be on there. So it's a funny list, man. This is such a funny list. So
yeah, I mean, there's good movies on there.
Oh yeah, a lot of them.
But it's like Talk to Me is a good movie, but it's not a scary movie. So
yeah, no, and that's seeing Talk to Me, it was okay. There were moments that were like kind of cool and stuff. But to me, that is kind of, aside from knowing the premise where they hold the hand of this thing and they talk to it and they, whatever. I don't remember really shit about it. I don't remember the characters or anything like that. So I there's no way I could put it up there, in the top list. But
no.
Yeah, it's crazy talk. It's crazy talk. Crazy.
It is.
Let's see. Yeah, you guys ever seen The Changeling with George C. Scott? That classic, great movie right there.
That's a great film, along with like Ghost Story and some of the other ones. Yeah, these are. I don't think that the person who made this list or the people who did this, I think that young people think an idea is scary, but not the film type of thing. I think that they're like, if you watch something like The Omen, realizing that little kid is the Antichrist, that's scary, that this kid could grow up and destroy the world. That's scary, but they don't look at it that way. They just say a mindless figure walking towards you and it follows. Yeah, it's creepy, but it's not scary, really.
Yeah.
Because why can't you just walk away?
But even with Omen, the idea, that, you have, this demon coming that's, he's, the intent is to destroy humanity. That's scary. But for me, even, and maybe it's just from being a parent, but even scarier than that is the idea that there's another baby there. And this kid is now, trying, to kill the mom and the baby, I mean, that's holy shit. That's some crazy stuff. So yeah, the Omen movies, they're great. And this list, it's funny that Fangoria could even Sinister once again named the scariest movie ever made. A new fun, like, how do we even talk about ever? You can't use the word ever unless you have every horror movie ever made in this conversation, and they obviously don't. So
no,
yeah,
and
man.
you can't say that unless you've seen everyone. If I sit there and say the Beatles are the best band ever, no, they're not. They're a great rock band. They may be your favorite rock band, but have you heard every rock band? because
Yeah.
there could be a rock band that's better in France that you've never heard of.
Well, and that's where, and like one thing I like with my 50 movies to watch at Halloween, that was my list. It doesn't make me the authority on movies to watch at Halloween. It doesn't make it right, but that's what those are 50 movies I like to watch. So for somebody to say these are my favorite 50 movies or these are my scariest 20 movies is one thing, but to say these are the scariest 20 movies of all time, you cannot put that in perspective because there's so many horror movies out there. Nobody has seen them all. And even the best experts in the world that maybe have seen almost every, if not every mainstream horror movie, there's a lot out there, man. There's a lot. And it's a lot of it's based on perspective, but Nightwalker says, I don't think Smile was scary. I didn't find it scary. I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was scary. Jeff says, you mentioned the foreign film Terrified previously. I think it's better than many on the list. Terrified is phenomenal. Have you seen that one? And not Terrified, but Terrified?
I don't know. I don't think I know it.
Yeah, it's let me pull it up real quick and read you the synopsis. It is from the same director that did it's Damien Rugna who did When Evil Lurks. Have you seen When Evil Lurks?
No.
Oh, that's okay. That's a new one. You got to get with the program on that one. When Evil Lurks, that is a fucking intense movie. There are some insane moments in that movie. But Terrified from the same director, Damien Rugna. And it says, when strange events occur in a neighborhood in Buenos Aires, a doctor specializing in the paranormal, her colleague, and an ex-police officer decide to investigate further. So there's like crazy shit going on, and they go to investigate it, and it gets fucking wild and violent. So yeah, Terrified for the same director. Terrified and these. So When Evil Lurks, I don't know if that got a physical media release yet. It was coming, but I don't know if it's out yet. I think it is. I think it is out. And but When Evil Lurks and Terrified are on my list, but Terrified is absolutely phenomenal. And so it's got Terrified has a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, which that is a high score, a very high score. I'm curious though, what is When Evil Lurks is rated as 6.9, even higher on IMDb. So they're both great. He is a great director. They are twisted movies. So then anyways, we really needed to talk about a couple movies tonight, specifically before it gets too late. So we both saw Smile 2 recently and have pretty different opinions. And
Venom.
But I think we both pretty much agree with Venom. We'll still talk about it. Oh yeah. And then the Mousetrap. Are we going to dive into the Mousetrap tonight?
Mousetrap we could dive into, and then I looked at Terrifier 3 with a fine-tooth comb with editing and stuff. So because I've heard there's a 3-hour cut of that movie coming out, or at least the longer one. So I was really looking at it as the areas that they cut, and I don't think they cut certain areas. So wherever you want to jump.
Well, what are your thoughts on that? Because I do think there has to be a lot of Terrifier 3 that was cut. Either that or they completely failed. So I don't know that I will take the time to watch it again because I just don't care enough to do so. But do you think there's going to be story added that will fill in some of those gaps?
So I was watching it. I was really paying attention, and all the way up to where the brother goes. Do you know where it is? Like where the daughter goes, the sister goes, I need to go back to the Terrifier and get it. So which is the sword, from their back is solid. Like, I'm like, okay, this is moving.
Yeah.
Okay, it's moving. It's moving. I'm not seeing anything that looks like it might be missing. And I don't think they ever shot the stuff of her going back to the Terrifier, because they keep just saying it. Did you get it? Do you know where you buried it? Even when it's in the sword is in the package at the house under the Christmas tree, they keep referring to it as it until it's brought out. And I think that was intentional, that we never see her get the sword, and she comes out, and then her like little cousin or whatever, or niece says, "Oh, your hands are all dirty." So I think that's to let us know that she dug it up. So I don't think any of that's missing. I think that was intentionally done that way. But then right after that, when Terrifier goes to, or Art the Clown goes to the fraternity, that's where all the editing starts, because he pulls up in the van, he gets out, he holds the door open for the frat guys that are carrying in the kegs. He kind of looks back and almost smiles at the camera, and then goes into the fraternity, and that's it. Nothing more happens. And I thought, okay, maybe Jonathan, the brother, is in the fraternity, but he's not. He's in a dorm, because they even show the outside of the dorm. So, like, why did he go to the fraternity?
Yeah.
Art does nothing there. So I think he wipes out the fraternity, and probably the distribution company went, we ain't doing this 2 hours and 30-minute thing like you did with part 2. This is in the theaters. We're going to try to get as many showings in as possible. You're going to have to get this thing down to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so there's stuff in the house at the very, like, how does Terrifier know where the sister is? Like, how does he know where she lives?
Well, I'm kind of okay with that, because they've added the supernatural element. You know, I mean, we see him with the head cut off, and we know, you know, it's a supernatural, whether he's a demon, whether he's an alien, whatever he is. I'm okay with, he has the ability to find her. I'm fine with that. Michael Myers keeps fucking finding Laurie Strode. I'm fine with that. But the fact that he wants to get the brother and he wants to get the sister. Okay, so I'm fine with the, you know, her getting the sword, getting it there, putting it under the tree. All that timeline, I'm fine with. They gave us enough there to understand what happened.
I would agree with that, because I don't think that they ever shot on purpose her going to the Terrifier. But
yeah, well, and we know he already left there. He was out doing his thing, so I have no issue with her going back to the house and then, you know, getting the sword.
Because the uncle, like you had mentioned, and it is kind of silly. And for people, because I'm seeing down in your guys here, we are talking spoilers here. That when the aunt, like the uncle goes, okay, so where's Serena, whatever her name is, Sierra, that's it, Sierra. And she's like, oh, I gave her a pill, she's asleep upstairs. We do see her sleeping, but I agree with you that with everything that's going on, I don't think that she would be that calm to sleep, especially when her brother is involved. So then the uncle goes to pick up the brother. The uncle is like outside a house or something, because I was looking at what it was. It wasn't the dorm. And he gets the phone call, and it's obviously Art the Clown's, the woman that's with Art the Clown. And she's doing the voice of the brother. And that's the last that we ever see of the uncle until we see what happens to him inside the house. So it's like, is there something missing here? Because he's not in front of the
brother too. We don't ever get to see the brother.
And
the uncle
the brother,
and the brother.
is clearly in the dorm. not in the fraternity. And I still don't know if that's his head or not, because it just seems like an Art the Clown thing to do.
Yeah.
Would be to have that as somebody else's head. So we don't see what happens to the uncle. We don't see what happens to the brother. I don't think
Yeah.
these are intentional. Maybe the brother's head is intentional.
I think the brother's head is. I think. Well, I think when they put the glasses on the brother to show that it was the brother, I don't think there's trickery in that. I think that's the brother. He's now dead, and so I think,
if that is the way that it is, I am disappointed in them on how they dealt with this whole thing. You need some, like if you look at Longlegs, for example, when the mom goes outside and shoots the woman in the car, and they remember that, and then she goes around to the other side and shoots the woman again in the car because the detective is inside.
yeah.
And all we're getting is the mother in the back, and then we see her slowly walk to the side, and she aims the gun and shoots her. All you need is something like that with the uncle, where he's waiting out there, he gets fooled by the voice, and then we just see Art the Clown.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, he's dead. Because I rewatched with the beginning with the little girl at the very beginning, who's hiding in the cupboard. Art's shadow goes over her as he's coming in. Because you would ask, like, well, did he kill her? Did he leave her alone? I was watching it, and his shadow does go over her, like he's going in to grab her. But it's not like a really dark shadow. So I think if this is not edited, if this is the way that Damien Leone actually did this film, I am disappointed in it, basically from the fraternity forward.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of this just doesn't make sense. And I have no problem with it being weird, with portals from hell opening, and is Art an alien or supernatural or whatever it is. But
just explain it. Give us a little nugget.
Yeah, give us it's some of the stuff is just editing wise, it doesn't make sense. And it does that fraternity thing is bizarre, because it doesn't serve if you removed, because it's like two shots. It's the wide shot of the van pulling up, Art gets out because it's the demolition team's van, and then we see him walk up to the stairs, he opens the door, that's more of a close-up. So if you took out that scene, it would not harm the movie at all.
Yeah.
Because nothing happens. We don't even hear on the radio or the TV, 3 hours ago, an entire fraternity was wiped out, completely massacred. We don't even hear that.
I wonder if they just fucked up and they meant for Art to go, to the dorms, but they sent him to the fraternity instead. I wonder if that's a fuck up. Or, hey, maybe in a director's cut, maybe we get that. Explanation, or maybe we get a little something. Maybe he went there looking for the son, but then he wasn't, or the brother, but then he wasn't there.
Well, and that is where I think you would murder him, because he says the reason why he can't meet up with his sister is because he's going to the party.
Yeah.
And I guess it's that party, but we never see him at the party.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're seeing him in there with a drink, dancing with some girls and stuff. And then Art kind of looks to the camera or whatever he did, and then goes inside, and we're like, uh-oh. But there's not one shot of him there. And it's like, this is weird. I still like the movie a lot, but it's like some of this editing doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it puts plot holes in there. So like that stuff, with the uncle, with the brother. And then, but just going back to the idea that, number one, she was freaked the fuck out about her brother getting killed. She's not going to go to sleep. She's not going to be willing to take a pill. Why would you? If you're going to take a sleeping pill, which is going to knock you out for hours and hours and hours, how are you going to defend yourself if Art the Clown shows up? So I have a problem with that. But forget my problem. It's not my movie. It's Damien Leone's movie. But here's the problem. She's freaking out because she wants the uncle to go get the brother. Why isn't she going with him? One, that's my question. That's kind of weird. Good. But then two, why is she just going to go lay down and go to bed? and the uncle's taking his sweet ass time and hasn't even left, but yet she had time. It takes, you take a sleeping pill, you're talking at least 15, 20 minutes before that thing starts to kick in, at least. So plausibly, it's been over a half hour, the way I'm looking at it, and he still hasn't even left, and she's okay with that. I think that, to me, but if we go from there to boom, locked up in chairs, and tied up in the chairs, and everybody's already dead. There's a lot of stuff that had to happen in between there that we didn't get to see. When you mix that with her not wanting to go with the uncle or whatever, just going to bed, there's a lot of problems right there.
Yeah, it doesn't. There needed to be something that story-wise, I mean, I guess the fake voice was our answer to the uncle that was telling us, oh, something's going to happen to him. But then, I mean, he's all kind of, crucified up on the wall, and we see his head on the Christmas tree, and it's like, why aren't we seeing any of this? Why is this? Because it still takes a second, and as much as I like the practical effects, I'm sorry, they're not good enough for me to completely recognize that that's the uncle's head.
Yeah.
Because that it's not like it's done by K&B or Tom Savini or somebody. It's done by the film's director, and he does fine with stuff like torsos, but at first it's like, whose head is that? Oh, it must be the uncle, because I guess he's strapped up on the wall.
Yeah. And see, and that's where, I mean, so if you gave me something with the party and then him getting the brother, and then even if it was like Art the Clown, about to swing or about to kill the uncle or about to capture or kidnap or kill the brother, something with those, even what would have been perfect is all you had to do is have the uncle show up, have the uncle go into the party, find the brother at the party, and then come back outside and have Art the Clown hiding there somewhere or something, or Art pop up in front of them when they're together and then jump to them being dead. I'm fine with that. But you have to either give me them getting killed or them getting captured. At least some.
Yeah, and yeah, like Art, the uncle goes to the fraternity party. He grabs the nephew. They leave. They get out into their car, and then we get the shot looking through the front mirror, through the front glass. And Art pops up. The girl pops up, and we know they're dead.
Yeah, even as hokey, because that type of scene is done a million times over in movies, but it gives us the answer. It gets us there. So and the problem with this is, I mean, you could make a movie where these things are all done off camera, and we just have to put the math together. But those are kind of like thought provocative, intellectual kind of movies. So those are not Art the Clown just going around killing everybody in sight. So that's why I just think we need more. I would still have a very hard time swallowing that Sierra just went up and went to bed, and the uncle hadn't even left yet. I just have a real problem with that. But I mean, that's his writing or whatever. My problem is more with the incomplete, and maybe it comes out on an extended cut. Hopefully it does answer some of those. I'll feel a little bit better about it if it does.
Yeah, and I really took into consideration the things that you talked about, and so I looked at those, and like, I didn't leave. Like, I watched the whole thing. I mean, I was right there, and so I even had to go pee for like a long time, and I eventually had to pause the movie. But it was just like, I want to watch this thing from beginning to end and try to figure out why this feels so disjointed from this moment on, when it doesn't. Because even Art just showing up at a shopping center to blow everything up, okay, fine. Where can we put Art? Okay, we'll put him in with Santa Claus at a shopping center. Okay, fine. He doesn't have to. He can pick any shopping mall that he wants. So you don't need to have him look at GPS or anything like that.
No. Yeah, 100%.
All that stuff from just the fraternity on just seems like he cut out major portions because the distribution company said you need to cut this down to 2 hours so we could fit in like one extra show.
Yeah. Well,
and I think it hurts the movie.
Yeah. And hopefully an extended cut or a director's cut, hopefully that stuff is there. But I don't know. We'll see. Let me get to some of these comments here. And Mr. Bones was letting us know it was Vicky was the that a little niece there. Thanks, Mr. Bones. And Dominic, what's up? So Mr. Bones says they kept it on the down low at first, who it was to let the mother die, thinking the head was her daughter's, and then unveiling it was Jonathan to torture Sienna. Evil shit. No, and as far as the reveal of the brother's head, I think that would have hit just as hard with Sierra as it did with us not knowing. But I mean, come on, we knew what they're tied up, and we see, you know, the uncle all fucked up and dead. The brother's dead. He's dead. You know, I don't think there wasn't a great shock value for me. Evil shit. Yes. Revealing to the sister, revealing to Sierra that her brother's dead. That is very evil shit. And that would have worked whether we knew as the audience or not, I think.
I just think we needed that one shot of Art the Clown with the brother, or Art the Clown with the brother and the uncle.
Brother.
You just need something. And the brother did tell the sister, oh, I'm going to this party, which then she even told her aunt. And if there was just something on TV, the Omega brother fraternity, 50 people were completely massacred, then she could be like, oh my God, my brother was at that party.
Yeah.
What happened to him? And then later reveal glasses. Hey, this is what we did to your brother at the party.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even a flashback. Yeah. Like a TV news story, something like that would have been fine. Yeah. Art comes in, turns on the TV. There's a story about everybody at that party.
Yeah. And him going
massacred. Yeah.
Laughing at the screen. You got the actor who plays Art the Clown. He's there probably from beginning to end, because I even think he's listed as like a producer. So shoot this scene of just him, you know, just maybe just showing bodies at the fraternity. You could just find a room anywhere and just throw body parts and say it's the fraternity.
Yeah.
So
and Mr. Bone says, so we have a party massacre coming on the Blu-ray. Well, maybe, because I mean that would be ideal to explain a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Put the uncle there, put the brother there, and a party massacre. That would explain a lot. It would connect a lot of dots. But I wonder, from a producer's standpoint, maybe they were running out of money. I mean, $2 million. Maybe they just went like, fuck, we don't have enough money to do all this. What are we going to cut? And I guess we'll find that out when the extended or director's cut comes out. That will be the telltale right there. But I mean, it's possible. $2 million. You know, I mean, it could go really fast if you're, you know, especially shooting SAG and stuff, man. That shit will go fast. So,
well, yeah, you could tell that they, you know, didn't have a ton of money, because even like the explosion, you know, with the kids and Santa, if you watch the bombs going off and all that, there's nobody there.
Yeah,
the Santa's not there, the kids aren't there, the parents aren't there. All they're doing is blowing up like the gifts, the chair. You know what's there. There's no people there at all. Yeah. So they didn't have dummies or anything that were blowing up. And then that just cuts from people, explosion with nobody there, back to the bodies.
Yeah. See, and that's where I wonder, you know, if they were running out of money, or if that was a director's choice. I guess we'll find out. But, you know, so here's the thing with the movie, my knocks on it are the plot, you know, the plot holes where we feel like we're missing things. And just the fact that the sister would have been going with the uncle. I think she would have. There's no way she's not going to go with him. You know, so maybe the sister and the uncle go and they bring the brother back and then everything. I mean, you could however you want to do that, but I have issues with that. And but in the review, sitting there when I was talking with Master Chaos about it with the kids and stuff, that's a little bit of a problem for me. Not as big of a problem for me as it was for Master Chaos with the bomb with the kids and stuff. I don't like the bomb because I just think they could have done something so much better. I mean, shit, even if each box that the kids got, they all opened up and it was a Jack in the Box and it had a knife. And so it stabbed you in the face when it opened. They could have done so many different things. It's going with the bomb with the kids. I just wasn't a big fan of that. That's my perspective on it. I didn't, but I think there's a lot of other issues. Maybe some of those issues will get resolved in a director's cut. I hope.
Yeah, see, I like the bomb. I actually just thought that was another way for Art to kill people. My other problem with it is how bloody Art's costume is as he's walking through places. So he goes to the bar, and his gloves are all full of blood, and the bartender does make a comment about hygiene. So nobody's questioning all this blood on him. He shows up as Santa at the mall. And granted, the parents aren't paying attention and the little girl runs up to go, Santa. But still, once the parents look, they should see there's blood all over him. I mean, he's scary looking to begin with, but there's blood all over him. So he's just walking through places with blood all over him. And nobody is saying anything, where like in Terrifier 2, he goes to the laundromat and washes his suit. He's just sitting there in his underwear, and then he puts the suit back on. So that's something that bothers me, that nobody is realizing. I think if you even had one glove of blood on it, people would be like, what is that? What's that?
But no, when he sits down as Santa there, he's covered in blood. And it's like, and yeah, I know the mom told the kid to come back, or, and Santa wasn't supposed to be back yet. The kid just ran up on their own. But the minute the parents seen him covered in blood, that should have been over. It should have been over at that point. Everybody should have went running and screaming at that point. So that was a little wonky too.
Yeah,
I'm with you there. Angie, wasn't she seeing a psychologist during the movie? Maybe people think she's having flashbacks and they don't believe her. Yeah, well, no, but I don't know that they think she's having. We see her having the flashbacks, like at the dinner table and stuff like that. I don't necessarily have any issue with that in the movie. My problem is that she just goes, she sees her brother, but she basically goes to the aunt and uncle's house and just fucking stays there. No incentive, knowing Art the Clown is alive, no incentive to go finish him or kill him, no incentive to go get her brother and bring him back. She just goes to the house and fucking stays there. That's my problem with it.
I don't know why she thinks Art is still alive, since she did cut his head off. Even the cop that went into the Terrifier found the body with its head missing, and the head was in that asylum, so they were completely separated. So this should really be more like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, where nobody thinks Michael is alive. They all think he's dead.
Well, but when she has the vision at the mall, she knows people are going to think she's crazy if she tells.
I don't think that was a vision.
Well, okay, when she saw him, and I'm okay with that she really saw him there. So when she sees Art, she won't tell anybody because she doesn't want people to think she's crazy. She doesn't want to go back to the asylum. So she doesn't tell anybody. But then after the bomb and hits the news and they find out, and then she goes, okay, I saw Art the Clown there. I think that's when she put that out. I was okay with that storyline, how that all went.
That's okay.
They she let everybody know that he was really still there. And maybe the uncle really didn't believe her. And that's to your point, NG, is that maybe the uncle really didn't believe her that Art the Clown was there. But I mean, shit, we just had a mall blow up. Maybe the uncle's not going to be, the uncle's like, it's, it was a shopping mall. It's not this Art the Clown guy. The brother's going to be fine. I'll go get him. Maybe he's nonchalant about it, but she shouldn't be. She shouldn't be willing to just go to bed.
Yeah, that and that I do agree with you now is yeah, I think it was a way of getting her out of the film for a little bit, so then we have the aunt and the uncle, and then the uncle can just leave without her. So
Yeah.
she's then at the house. So I think they're like, "Oh crap, what can we do to get her to stay at the house?" Oh, we'll just write in that she takes a sleeping pill
Yeah.
and she gets passed out. I mean, I took a sleeping pill last night, and on the bottle it says take 1 hour before you go to bed.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
it
like you
takes a
said,
little time.
how long is it between the sleeping pill and her sleeping, and
Yeah.
then the aunt and uncle leaving?
Yeah.
So it's I'm telling you, it's everything from that fraternity is because I even thought her tied to the chair was in her head when I saw it in the theater.
Mm.
I didn't think that that was real because
Yeah, I
how
thought it was going to be a dream sequence.
yeah, like how, because she had how many of them in part two, and so and how would Art the Clown know where she is?
Yeah.
Like how did he find the house if he's murdering the uncle and the brother? I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
they gave them the
I
address.
I just give him that's one of those things that when we have decided that he's supernatural or superhuman or whatever because he can, which was a very funny scene when he takes the other guy's head and holds it above his body. I thought that was fucking hilarious. You know, he's
Yeah.
sitting there with the different guy's head on. Once we've determined 400% without a doubt he is superhuman, I'm okay with him just being able to find her. Shit, if a shark can find a family a couple thousand miles away, this guy can find her on the other side of
If a
town.
shark could go from Amityville to the Bahamas,
Yes, yes,
in
yeah,
like 2 hours.
yeah. So I'm okay with that. I'm going to let that one go. It's fine. My problem is I don't care what the story is. Just give me a complete story that makes sense. It can be wonky, but it has to just make sense. And let's see. House of GFAM says, I'm ready for 3-hour movies. Now just complete the story. I'm with you. They should have Art finish eating his sidekick with the rats. They should have had Art finish eating his sidekick with the rats. See, that's another issue I kind of have with the movie too is Art's a killer. He just kills everybody regardless. What's he doing with the sidekick?
Oh, because they say in it that he needs a vessel. So that's why he's with. Now, this doesn't make sense to the first film because he's by himself. But in the second film, he has the little girl. And then in this one, he has that adult, the woman from the second film. And that they read that he needs a vessel to continue going.
Yeah. I don't care for that. And that's my
I
perspective. It doesn't make it right or wrong. I just don't care for it.
No, I don't think that we needed the female companion. I think the little girl in the second one was a great little addition, just as
Yeah.
a companion, just for he has like this little friend who goes out and kills with. But I don't think that we needed the woman.
Yeah.
I think that he could have killed her along with like that nurse
Yeah.
or
Well,
whatever,
and
and
see,
then
I think what would have really you could have put a bow on her story by having her help Art the Clown get there. And once Art the Clown has the mom and or the aunt and Sierra in the chairs, and now the uncle's dead and the brother's dead, Art should have turned around and been like, he should have just went like, he should have turned around, looked at the girl with the fucked up face and all that, his sidekick, and he should have just went like I'm done with you now, poop, and lopped her head off and pushed her, in the hole or wherever. Like, I mean, he should have just killed her. Like, you've served your purpose, now fuck off. Because that's kind of what you would expect from him is like, I don't need you anymore. You're dead. Bye.
well, and I would agree with that because then the woman takes center stage. So when everybody is tied to the chairs, all of a sudden she takes over and Art's kind of in the background and he's not doing the main stuff really. It's
Mhm.
her and it's like
Yeah.
wait, why is she
Yeah.
now the main person in this? And I guess Art needed to keep her around so then she could die and melt and open the floor into the pit of hell.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so if she melts and opens the pit, then how perfect would that be that they're sitting there, they have the mom or they have the aunt, they have Sierra, that, the dead brother, dead uncle. And then he just looks at her like, okay, now I need you to open the pit of hell. Boop, and he chops her head off. And then, and then she dies and opens the pit. That would have been perfect.
There you
I
go.
think that would have been a much better way to do it. But I mean, making a movie is not easy. It's not. I don't care how much money you have, how much time you have. It's not easy. Mistakes happen. And especially if you have a director's cut, or if you have what in mind you want the story to be, and then somebody says, you have to cut 20 minutes off of this movie, that's not going to be fucking easy. So, to give Damien Leone a little credit or benefit of the doubt, maybe it will get answered in an extended cut. Mr. Bones says, I think they sort of done the actor who played Jonathan dirty. He just disappeared unless that's what he wanted. Yeah, no. My guess is I'm wondering too with Jonathan and with the effects and lack of kills at the fraternity. I'm wondering if they just started running out of money. Maybe they went over or they shot longer days or whatever. Maybe they started running out of money and they went, well, sorry, dude, you're dead.
Yeah, because Jonathan was at the convention. He was at Creep I.E. So it's not like he left because of some bad blood or something. He was there advertising part 3.
Yeah. The weird lady was Vicky. She was the victim. Okay, so Vicky was the victim for the first movie.
She's the interviewer. But was she, people asked, where's the little girl? The little girl is brought up in this because that's where the sister says that the little girl is a vessel and that they have to kill the little girl who's not in the movie. And that's where we found, okay, so then I guess the older woman is also a vessel that Art is using, but he doesn't seem to need a vessel. He doesn't seem to need help.
Yeah,
if he cut off a guy's head and hold it on and take a train, I don't think he really needs a companion. So the little girl is cute. It was funny having this little girl companion. That's fine. But I don't think he needed the adult. No.
Yeah. No, and that's and so I think Mr. Bones is saying that that the one in part 3, that sidekick was she was one of the girls from the first movie, right?
She was the interviewer from the first film who then gets attacked, and then she gets put into the asylum, and then Art takes her out. Yeah.
What's up, Josh? Says, I think we'll see Jonathan again in part 4. To have a character like that and kill them off screen like that will be lame as hell. If you don't see someone die, chances they aren't.
That's what I said. I said, I don't think Jonathan is dead. I think they took his glasses and they put it on some guy's head and to piss her off. If he took
his glasses, then where is he without his glasses?
Maybe we'll find out in part 4, or it'll be a deleted scene or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I completely agree with Josh. Why would you have a kid who was throughout a big part of part 2 and a big part of part 3, and then just have him disappear? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no. And at this point, I would say that was just something that made the movie not as good as it could have been. Because right now, all we know is what we have, what we've seen. Part 3, part 1, 2, and 3. That's all we know. We don't know about extended scenes. We don't know deleted scenes. We don't know about a part 4. If that was the end of his story, that is a very weak end to his story. So hopefully there's something more there, but I guess we'll wait and find out. Little girl's parents probably were asking for way more money for her role, so they wrote her off.
Probably. But she was at the convention.
The little girl was?
Wasn't she at the convention?
The brother. I think she's been at conventions. Yeah.
Wasn't she a Creep I.E?
Just because you write somebody out of the movie doesn't mean you have bad blood. It means you just, sorry, we can't afford you. We're moving on. So, I mean, I could still see her doing conventions, even if they wrote her out.
Okay, sure.
But yeah. They just needed Sienna to be hopeless, and telling her brother is dead would do that. Yeah, no, we'll see. And that's where you know, even just showing Art at the party and showing the brother at the party, so we can put together in our minds that Art was in the same place as him, and now we have a skull. I mean, that's enough for me. That completes the whole story. But the movie's not good enough for us to, for example, one of the movies we're going to be talking about on John's channel tomorrow is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. You could sit here and talk for hours and hours and hours about who's the killer, what's going on, what does this mean, what does that mean. There's not enough depth to these characters or this story to talk about Terrifier for hours and hours. Like, what does this mean or what does that mean? We could talk about it, about whether we liked it or didn't like it or thoughts that were missing, but there's no way that they had any like alternate meanings or anything in this that I think it's a slasher. It's just in your face slasher is what I think.
Yeah.
So how's you fam? That's right, John. The demon that possesses the pale girl now possesses Vicky, had the power to bring Art back to life. Oh, so the girl had to bring him back to yeah.
Which doesn't make total sense, because at the end of part 1, Art comes back to life. We don't directly see it, but we see that huge beam of light and he kills the coroner.
Yeah.
And he comes back to life, and then that's when he's walking down the alleyway.
Yeah.
So so I don't mind them adding in the little girl as this vessel. That's fine. But yeah, it doesn't. Just a lot of it doesn't make. Yeah. I just wanted story wise to make some sense.
Yeah. House of GFam says so. Damien confirmed recently in an interview that Jonathan's dead. Well, I got to go look for that interview. I haven't seen that. Honestly, they should have killed Sienna and made Jonathan the main in 4. That's interesting thought, but Jonathan's not the eye candy. Let's just be real with slasher movies. We have final girls. We don't have final boys. So, I mean, you could have a final boy, but that might get a little weird. The pale girl not being in 3 is apparently because she's supposed to represent evil that's in the film. The pale girl was potentially one of Art's victims. I just took that. Okay. And the evil is now in Victoria in part 3. So at the end of 3, Art, human again. He was apparently human up the end of the first film and then comes back. And see, and so that's where I think, like, I mean,
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Yeah, I just think, well, I think he's asking, it was a question: is Art human again? Yeah.
Oh,
Art takes off running, and I kind of feel like Art is now, is it Sienna or Sierra? Maybe it's Sienna, but Art is now like just fucking with her, and he leaves. Her whole family's dead. Let her, wallow in this misery. He's gone, and we'll live to fight another day to like fuck with her some more or something. I didn't have a problem with Art taking off at the end. I don't have a problem with her whole family dead around her. But I wish we got a little more out of some of the story, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
with
I like Art sitting at the bus stop. I like that he takes buses and trains.
Yeah, that is fucking hilarious. Art getting on a bus is hysterical.
He just puts his bag on his shoulder and just walks in a wide, long shot. He just walks onto the bus.
See, and that's
the guy driving the bus is fine. Like, he has change or something to put into the bus.
Yes, but that just tells you, as a bus driver, some of the crazy shit they see. I'm sure bus drivers see some crazy fucking shit. But that's what kind of makes it so frustrating for me, is you have moments like that, or like the scene in the bar with Daniel Roebuck and stuff, where Art pees on his leg and, and all that, or gets excited seeing the Santa Claus suit in the window. And there are so many great moments in the movie that it's like, how are we allowing this final cut to have these flaws in it? You know, it's frustrating. I would rather, if they didn't have the budget to finish off the brothers' role or character or whatever, I would have rather they just cut it at a certain point and said, this is going to be a two-parter. Part 3 and 4 are going to have to go together, you know, and go get the money to finish it up. I would rather they did something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
sorry,
I don't.
I'm not going to normalize Final Boys. Sorry, NG.
No. There are some scream queens out there that are gay guys, but including like the guy from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. But it's I forgot what I was going to say. The normalizing boys.
I know. I think 3 and 4 will bridge together like the new Halloween trilogy did. Josh. He's telling Josh that. Yeah. Now, if you're talking about Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, there was something fucking wonky going on there, man. All of a sudden, this Corey guy comes out of left field.
I'm a fan of Halloween Ends. I did not like Halloween Kills, but I really liked Halloween Ends. So I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're done with John. Oh man.
It's kind of, what was I trying to, but I mean, it's yeah, I don't know. We're just going to have to see. Cause if I'm going to be let down, and you knew, you could see how happy I was to meet the cast and crew at Creep, I.E. and get them to sign, and just meeting Damien Leone was even bigger for me than meeting Art the Clown. And it was just like talking to him briefly, even about, Frankenstein versus the Mummy and stuff. And for these things to happen, it's just like, this is, so what I was going to say is there's like the Warner Brothers film, Jonah X. And it's, I've read the script for that, which is over 2 hours, and they shot the script. And it, Jonah Hex, not X, Jonah Hex. The film is like 80 minutes and makes no sense at all. Why they thought this would be a good thing to release. They cut out so much stuff from that movie that no wonder it bombed. And I don't understand why, and I get why studios do it, because they want run times. But I guess they don't have to worry about anything, because Terrifier 3 made a shitload of money.
Yeah, no, over 50 million worldwide already now. So yeah, part 4 is coming. And I think hopefully the main cast, Damien and David Howard Thornton and Lauren and then Jonathan, whatever his real name is, hopefully they all get fucking paid for this movie and make some good bank. And then go on to do whatever they want. But we'll see what happens next. Artists from All Hallows Eve 1, and there's already 3 others without art that are not very good. And Mr. Bones, I think John kind of liked 1. Did you not? All Hallows Eve.
I liked the first film. I haven't seen part 2 or the other ones. I didn't even know that there was. Recently, I only thought there was All Hallows Eve 1 and 2. Then I found out that there was a third. And then Joe Luan told me there's a fourth, all with the same producer. And I guess Damien Leone is attached as producer for some of these. But it's a different actor, obviously, in All Hallows Eve. And Art is technically in all 3 stories. Yeah. The middle one with aliens, he's a portrait. But in the other 2, he's the actual clown. And there is an Easter egg in Terrifier 3 for that first story in All Hallows Eve. There's the circle. I forget, like the golden circle, and the somebody's reading the book on the bus or something that says the golden circle on it. And that's the witches that are in that first story in All Hallows Eve.
Okay. Yeah. I went back and was looking at All Hallows Eve, and the acting is atrocious. Like, so bad. There's this woman that's the babysitter of these, the kids, right at the very beginning of the movie. And it's like, oh, you're not going to watch that. And the kid goes and does it anyways. And then she's like, okay, well, we'll just watch it. But hey, I mean, that's before Terrifier 1, 2, and 3. I mean, you would think as a director or filmmaker, you're going to get better and better and better as they go. So that's fine. But All Hallows Eve, I got the autograph. I got his autograph somewhere over here. The guy that plays Art the Clown.
I'm so envious of that. I want that. Don't ever get rid of that.
Yeah.
I will buy it from you.
Okay. Well, if it's going to go, I'll make sure you have first dibs.
Yes.
But anyways, we should talk before. I mean, we're already an hour and a half in, which spoiler alert for everybody. We recorded 2 other videos. One, a 3-hour video on John's, if you weren't here from the get-go, a 3-hour video talking about the John Carpenter trilogy with Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, and The Thing. And then also we did another one with 13 movies to watch around Halloween time on John's channel. So that was 5 hours of video we've already done.
And
so
we are now review of Smile too. Yeah. That was another 20 minutes.
so you are now at 7 hours of video for today. So we don't want to stay too long tonight.
Yeah, but Ninth Circle, as Josh Porn said. Yeah, the Ninth Circle is in. That's the Easter egg that's in Terrifier 3.
Okay. So but in addition to this, we were going to kind of dive into Smile 2 a bit. So my thoughts with Smile 2, my biggest issues taken away, and it's one thing so I walk out of the movie theater and I do these reviews, and it's my initial reaction, how I'm feeling about it right then. I still cringe thinking about the way that girl drinks water. I don't have an issue with her drinking water. It's the way she drinks water. She's drinking that water like she is putting a penis down her throat. It is cringe.
She has to drink at least a glass of water. That's what she said. Her therapist said, we need to drink this, that she has to drink the water when she's in panic mode.
So she has to drink a glass of water. That's fine. It wasn't one of these size bottles of water. It's one of the big bottles of water.
Because that's product placement that they're doing.
Yes. So, but here's my thing. Show her chug it the first time. 1, teach the actress how to drink water. Then 2, have her drink the whole one the first time. Then the rest of the movie, every time she grabs one, just see her start to drink it and then fucking cut away because we know she's going to drink it. We don't have to see this poor girl struggle going, trying to down this whole bottle of water every time. It's cringe. So I have a problem with the way she drank the water and how much of it. And I have a problem. I'm not a fan of whatever. She's a performer. Okay. We have a little scene where she's, rehearsing and stuff. And I'm just going to tell you my 3 beefs and then I'll let you go, John. You can rant and rave about how wrong I am. So, but then when all the other smiley people she's seeing are coming down the hallway, like, oh, I'm a mime in a Broadway play. Oh, I'm coming. I'm so scary. No, you're not. You look like I was going to say some choice words, but I'm not. Because I don't want to get demonetized or even what like I don't want to get my channel shut down. But anyways, they look so stupid. All those people coming down the hallway don't look scary at all. They look like they're in a Broadway show. Like who would get scared by that? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not saying anything to you, done. So that's 1, right? Well, or was that 2?
The
water's number 1. Okay, what's the 3rd?
And oh man, it was on the tip of my tongue a second ago. I don't remember. Go ahead. I'll wait till you're done.
Okay.
So why am I wrong? Why is this is this movie great? Or your thoughts and why I'm wrong?
I think it's better than part 1. I think that Naomi Scott is a good actress and she is a Disney kid, so she can sing. I think that it's interesting that they did release an EP and it's already charting. I thought that she put 110% into her acting. But it's I hated Smile, but I got it confused, so I don't hate it anymore. I got it confused with Blumhouse's Truth or Dare, because they also did the Smile, but they did the stupid chat, like chat smiles.
Not a fan of Truth or Dare.
And no, that was an awful film. And so when I rewatched Smile, I said, "Oh wait, this is actually I actually really like this film." Except Kevin Bacon's daughter looks like she needs to eat a sandwich, which I've said like a billion times, because you could literally see the bones, under her skin, because she probably weighs, like 20 pounds. And if the camera adds 20 pounds, my God, what would she look like in real life? But I enjoyed it, and then went right into Smile 2, which I enjoyed even more. I like the beginning of it with a character we've never met before, and that guy is like a huge indie actor. I'm blanking on his name, but he's in like a ton of indie movies right now. He's really popular, and I like that it just starts off day 7, and he goes in and they fuck everything up in like the drug dealer's house.
Yeah.
I liked all of that, and then how his body gets dragged and it makes the smile. And I don't mind her being a pop star, because I think that she was just supposed to be like Britney Spears and just really kind of messed up. I like that her hair is different. I like that it's buzzed with it almost has that kind of rockabilly look to it, because they say and if you notice, the lead singer of Depeche Mode did this. So when he was on heroin, he had the really long hair and he was living the Hollywood lifestyle. He then went into drug rehab, got off heroin, and then he cut his hair again to look like how he had it originally, and moved back to England. So I think that's what they did with her, is when her character gets into the car crash, she had the long black hair. And so she cuts it to leave that person behind. And now she's starting fresh and new. I didn't mind any of the smiling stuff in it. I liked that the director kind of did a Bob Fosse type of thing with the background people. So I didn't mind the hands up on the walls and stuff, But remember, I don't find shit scary. So for me, it wouldn't be scary anyways. But I didn't mind that, because he's using what is around her to go against her. The whole thing at the end with her on the stage, and what she does with the mic. So no, I thought the music was awesome. I downloaded the 2 soundtracks and the EP. So I thought it was well directed. I thought it was well written. I thought it was well edited. I thought it was well acted. Jack Nicholson's son cracked me up, because he looks just like his freaking dad when he does the evil smile. So I'm hoping he's actually a good actor, and this just isn't nepotism. I like the movie. So
Right on. Yeah, I'm thinking the dogs are going to stop barking here in just a second. So I wish this room wasn't right next to the front door. Oh yeah, okay. Somebody's coming in the door now, so probably my daughter. So dog should stop barking now. But so one of the other problems I had with it, I started thinking about it, was the guy who she went and met, who was supposedly going to help her deal with the problem, right? He's like, oh, come and we'll go to this old restaurant or wherever it was, and we're going to go in the walk-in cooler because it's cold, and that will help like slow the demon down or whatever, right? So they go in there. They walk in the place, and the first thing they say, because it's all dark, oh, what? No electricity? How the fuck is the walk-in cooler running if there's no electricity?
Generator.
But there was no generator. But okay, whatever. So we're going to ignore that. But then the guy leaves the room and goes away, and then it's like he never existed. He wasn't real. She's told, oh, he's not real or whatever. And then, she was like driving the van herself and stuff. How, was she out of her mind the whole time, all the way back to the first time she ever met him? Was none of it real? Is the whole movie after, like, what is supposed to be her crazy and her real. Like we talked about, kind of like with In the Mouth of Madness, you could debate what is his insanity and what is reality. With this, it's the same kind of thing where what was reality, what was insanity. And I think we're led to believe that at the very end, her on stage, what she does with the microphone is reality. And at the
That is
beginning of the
reality.
movie, at the beginning of the movie is reality. But so are we to say that guy never existed? That she went and had conversations and got text messages from and everything? It's one thing to have conversations, but leaving a physical trail like a text message, like, I mean,
No,
that
I think anything, and this is in the first movie too, is anything where somebody's smiling is not real.
yeah.
Like she sees that it's real, but
The guy wasn't smiling. Remember when
I
he went
think,
to help her and everything?
well, she goes to
Not
the
till the
drug
very
dealer.
end, not till he leaves.
Well, like the drug dealer is real, where she goes to get the Vicodin, so that's real. Her meeting up with the guy, I believe, is real. I think the mom, where she think the mom is real.
Yeah.
I liked all that stuff in the hospital with her with the gun. I liked all that stuff. Um, I didn't have a problem with this about what's real and what's not as much as I did with the ending of Terrifier 3, where it's
Yeah.
like, is she strapped to a chair? Is that in her mind? Because we know that she was on sleeping pills. But I don't think, I didn't, nothing came to me that was a real problem.
Yeah.
It,
Well, I'll tell you a couple things I did like about the movie. One, the end, because not only did she pass that demon to one person, she passed that demon to like 20,000 people that were all sitting there watching her. Because when they die and the demon transfers over, right?
we never,
She dies and all those people are looking at her.
but we never see her smile at them though. So if it's completely, the camera is completely on the audience while she's doing everything. And then after what she does with the mic, the camera then cuts back and then we see what she did. So I don't know, because we see the creature and the creature eats her. And then that's what she does, the thing with the mic. And I think that we would have to have her smiling at the audience and them seeing it for 20,000 people to now be.
And we didn't get any of her smiling. I thought we got something there.
No, like she comes out and she's screaming and no, so get away from me and all that. And then we see what she sees, which is the big creature, and the creature engulfs her, like eats her. Or no, the creature goes into her mouth.
Yeah.
And that's when she is supposed to be smiling.
Yeah.
I don't think I missed it, because I think it
Okay,
goes into her
and maybe
mouth.
they didn't show it. Maybe they didn't show it. But the idea with her sitting there looking at all those people, I took that as that demon now just is in like thousands and thousands of people instead of just her.
I did not even think about that until right now. So if they made a Smile 3, which as I'm sure they will, they should have that as the pre-credit scene. And then we get to see that shot of her smiling at the audience.
Well, what would be epic? Because we continued part 1 into part 2 with the dude with the drug house and getting killed. The opening was great. That opening scene was phenomenal. After his blood is smeared all across the pavement, I'm like, oh, this is going to be fucking good. I was amped at that point. So what about we make a Smile 3 and it starts off where everybody in there is possessed and they're seeing each other's crazy and the whole arena, all of them kill each other. You have a bloodbath of
that would be a great beginning.
15,000 people. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be great. You get a lot of overhead shots of people just killing each other and smiling, and then they die, then they smile, then they die. Yeah, that would be a great beginning, because I am almost certain, I am 99.9% sure that the camera is completely on the audience as they're shocked, and we only hear what she's doing, and then it cuts to her on the ground and we see the microphone.
Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, it's because it was a POV looking at the audience. We don't know if she's smiling or not. She could be, she might not be. But, but that is a conversation to have, because if she was smiling and the way they were all looking at her, but this is hypotheticals moving into
they would be infected.
Yeah. If she was looking and smiling at them all.
Yeah.
But the opening was good. That was good. The mom finally getting it was good, because I fucking hated that mom. So when she killed the mom, I thought that was good. So I mean, there was some good stuff with it.
I like that actress. I think that she's she's like mom hot, because she was like the mom in Poltergeist, the remake of Poltergeist, and she's been in some other movies. And I just kind of, and she normally plays moms, and so she's just mom hot to me. It's just like, oh look, there's hot mom. So, but yeah, she was a total. But I agreed with the mom, and I didn't agree with her at the same time. Is if you are going to commit to this, then you do have to pull it through. You can't commit when millions of dollars were on the line, and then go, oh, by the way, I can't do this. You shouldn't have committed to begin with.
Yes, I agree, and that's you understand the pushback and everything, but it's like at a certain point when she tells you, I can't fucking do this, I just can't do it today, then you go like, okay, this is your decision, the results are on you. You don't fucking beat her up about it. The way the mom did. The mom just went too far with things. She was like, I started thinking about so many other child actors whose parents were just pieces of shit, trying to make money.
Well, that's why I thought this was, it's probably a combination of a bunch of these like female pop stars, but that's where I got that it was mostly Britney Spears and her dad. Is because in those couple documentaries that were made about her, that she really talks about how her dad would just keep scheduling her, and it's just like, I'm about to die, like I can't do this anymore. I need a day off.
Yeah. Where so the mom, the actress's name is Rosemary DeWitt. She was like the lead actress in Arizona, which Fluffy had me watch a while back with Danny McBride.
Oh, I own that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, great movie. But she was a lead in that. And then she's also been in like 6 episodes of The Boys. But yeah, I think she's more she's not playing the younger, she's playing like the mom type role. So, speaking of mom roles, I am so interested to see in is it Wolfman, right? With Julia Garner. Have you seen the full trailer for that?
Yeah, I think it looks awful.
Julia Garner, and this is something I was talking to Master Chaos about when we were at the theater the other night. Julia Garner she's the mom in this. She does not look old enough to be this girl's mom. So it's very interesting that she's playing this mom role. And I mean, in reality, she might be. Let's see. Do we have a birth date on her? 1994. So she's 30 years old. So she could be this kid's mom, but she doesn't look old enough to be this kid's mom.
Oh my God, no, she didn't. No, she's 94. She's the one who's playing the female Silver Surfer in the new Fantastic Four film.
Okay, I love her as an actress. She's great, man. I'll tell you the
Ozark. That's why
Ozark, man. Her and you still haven't seen all of Ozark, have you?
No.
Oh man, wait till you get to the scene. Something she's like, she says something. You're gonna, and she's screaming at the top of her lungs, you're gonna have to fucking kill me. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. I'm telling you, Ozark gets so far off the fucking rails. It is so good.
So
right?
she's
ending to Ozark.
30 years old.
Oh my God. Yeah. But she
I guess
was in The Americans. I mean, she's been in recently in Apartment Number 7, which was pretty good.
I
A
still
lot of
want to see that.
Rosemary's Daughter vibes in that movie. Or Rosemary's Baby, I mean, right? Um, but that one's pretty good. So I mean, you know, what an amazing resume for 30 years old. I didn't know she was in Waco. But yeah, The Americans, which I haven't seen all of The Americans. I got to get to that. But man, she's great. I love her as an actress. So um, I, I will see the movie regardless, especially now having the AMC pass. I'm going to see like every fucking movie that comes out.
Well, I mean, irregardless, of the trailer, I like where Lee Winnell is going. I kind of like the idea that it's a virus, but I just think that the Wolfman looks bad, and they're dropping it in January. That is not a good sign, especially with how Lee Winnell has risen in the ranks.
Yeah,
his movie should not be coming out in January.
Yeah. No, it's a very good point. You know, and I would think you know, with Werewolves coming out in December, did they make an effort to go like, okay, well, let's let that come out, and then we'll come out a month later after everybody's like now thirsting for werewolf movies or something. I wonder, you know, the two movies, there has to be some decision with each other. Like one of them had to say, well, I don't want to come out the same time as them or whatever. But it's interesting that, I mean, we don't get werewolf movies that often. And then now we get two in back-to-back months.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be interesting. But Werewolves, I think, looks great. I'm excited for Werewolves.
That's Stephen C. Miller, and he's decent. He's a decent director.
Yeah.
That I have not seen a trailer for. I should watch that trailer, but okay. I don't know. I'll see Wolfman. I'll because it's Lee Winnell, and I'm, you know, being a James Wan fan and Lee Winnell fan, I'll definitely go to see it. I was disappointed in The Invisible Man. I thought the story was horrible, but
I kind of like The Invisible Man.
I hated the story for it. It bothers me. And this happened with a movie recently, but I can't think of what it is when all you have to do is explain and the movie's done. So if you don't have the character explain, then the movie can keep going. And that was the whole thing with The Invisible Man, is she won't talk to anybody. Like something happens to her and they're like, oh my God, are you okay? What happened? And she just gets up and runs away.
No, I'll give you that. The fact that she doesn't tell anybody, it did drive me a little, like, fucking just explain. And that's like, you see movies where it's just like, if these people would just tell them, hey, this is what's going on. Especially, I think they're like sitting in a restaurant and she doesn't, she has a golden opportunity to explain and she doesn't. It's like, just fucking tell it.
Yeah, the sister is sitting at the other side. There's a ton of people around them. He lifts the knife up, slices the sister's throat. Nobody saw a floating knife. Right? There's no cameras in this restaurant at all. And for somebody to go, oh, look, there's a floating knife. They don't even discuss this stuff. And to me, that's like, oh, well, if we never show a camera, if we don't discuss it, then it never happened. So as far as writing goes, and I think Lee Winnell is an excellent writer. I mean, Upgrade is friggin' amazing, but I think, but I'm glad it made money. You know, I'm good for him.
Yeah.
So
newest trailer for Wolfman that came out a few days ago looks decent. I saw a trailer, and I don't know if it's new or whatever, but I saw a trailer for Wolfman. When was it? Not Tuesday, so 5 days ago, when we were at the theater watching shit, what were we watching? What was the name of that movie? Where is it not on my list? I don't know why these things are. Oh, Anora. So we were at the theater watching Anora, which I'll tell you, Anora is worth the watch. It is one of my favorite movies of the year, where there's a stripper who a guy comes in and they want her because he's a Russian guy and she speaks Russian. So they want her to dance for him and stuff. And then they kind of hit it off. He pays for her to come back to his house and basically turns her into a prostitute. And then they kind of start dating and stuff. And it goes from there. I think Honora, and I said this in, I don't know if I said in the review or not, but when we were standing around talking about it outside, everybody's like, oh, I think Honora is like a Russian hangover movie, like The Hangover, because there's a long time where this guy is missing and they are out to find him. And it is a wacky, wild fucking ride. It is so fun. The crazy shit that goes on. But at the same time, you get, this guy and this girl. I mean, like the amount, if you're looking for nudity, the amount of nudity in this movie is like befuddling. It's just fucking crazy.
Sold.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, and in the girl, what's her name? She's was in Scream 5. She's what's her name? Let me pull it up here. Mikey Madsen, or is it Madison? Madsen. Mikey Madison. She was she got killed in Scream 5, right? So, or she was like one of the killers. I think she was one of the Ghostface.
Okay.
She was like the sister. So, she's, I mean, popular actress and stuff, but it's not just her. There's a lot of others. But something else that very, very, very fun happens in that movie, Honora. I'm not going to give away all the spoilers and everything. Everybody needs to go see it. But they go to Vegas. The guy's rich and they take a weekend trip to Vegas and they're walking around on Fremont Street. And have you ever seen on Fremont Street the twirling, what do we call her? The crack ballerina or whatever we call her, the woman who just spins in circles. She does that, spins and spins and spins and spins. So anyways, so we're down there and she's like, Brendan's doing a video, a live stream. And so Brendan goes out and like has me hold the camera and he goes out and he's spinning and spinning with her. She got so fucking mad at Brendan because he started spinning. She's not one of the street performers. She's just a crackhead who spins in circles. So anyways, and like an hour later, Brendan's was Wet Movie One. His phone is going to die. So we end his live stream and then I start a live stream on mine and we go back. She's still spinning in circles. So, I mean, arms out, spinning. Everybody, anybody who watches, see, Christian remembers that live stream. She's just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. So, she's in the movie. They're standing there. There's a scene. She's in the background spinning like right fucking behind them. I'm like, no way. That's awesome. I love it. So that was epic. I about lost my shit in the movie. Everybody's like, what? And I was like, oh, I'll tell you after the movie. I don't want to interrupt it here. But
that's funny.
It is listed as let me get back to it here.
Hey, Steve.
It's listed as romantic comedy, drama, romance. It is comedy. It's definitely comedy. There is some action to it. There is some adventure to it. So I'm telling you, it's fucking amazing. It's hilarious. So check it out. Yeah. My bad. Steve, what's up, Steve? How you doing? Man, that was another good one that we've seen lately. But and anything else that we maybe we'll save Mousetrap for another day. We've already been going for 2 hours.
Sure.
And dive into that. Now, have you done your review on your channel or you're waiting to do the interview?
No, Jack Hunter and I did a review for the Mousetrap already. That was a couple weeks ago.
On your channel or his?
On my channel.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it as two filmmakers review one film. I don't know if Jack was trolling me on it or not. He contacted me and said, hey, let's review this film. I was like, Yeah. I've seen the Winnie the Pooh movies. I don't want to watch a Mickey Mouse movie. And I did, and I really liked it. And then I said, okay, well, let's do a review for it, the two filmmakers. And he didn't like it, and I
Mm.
did. But you've had that the one time with Jack, and I don't know if he was trolling me on it or not, that he hated it. So I have no idea, but I really enjoyed it. And then I reached out to the director and the writer of The Mousetrap and asked them if they would do a one filmmaker interview, and both said yes. We were supposed to do that a couple days ago, but the writer had a family emergency, so we had to cancel. So we're rescheduling for that one. But he did say there is a sequel, and there is a 20-minute longer director's cut that's going to be coming out. So maybe that will explain some of the confusing things in that movie.
So I rated it a 0.5 star out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but do you know, according to Letterboxd, what its overall rating is?
No.
Out of 5? Its overall is a 1.3 out of 5. Most people are not fans.
So it looks like we're talking about it. So,
well, no, I know we don't have to, because there's a lot to dive into.
I mean, my reasons for liking this film
so it looks like we're talking about it.
It's filmed inside this family arcade. Yeah. I have now worked on 3 films that take place in the same family arcade here in Vegas, up on Sahara, and it's a laser tag place with all the same games and everything.
Not this location, right? This is a different one?
Different location. But because
so your 3 have been in the same place.
My 3 have been in the same place. So 2 Joe Lujan films, 1 Will Colossal. And so when I saw that Mousetrap was shot in one of these family arcade things, I immediately went, oh, that's hot. That's really cool, because I've shot now 3 times in one of these places. Also, with how the director shot the film is how I would have shot the film. So if somebody said, go and shoot this movie at a family arcade, it's the same thing that I was watching this going, this is how I would make this movie. Yeah. And I liked the writing, and I liked the directing, and I liked the music. And so there's maybe a little more personal stuff in it because of the arcade stuff. But I really enjoyed the film, and I've seen it 3 times. I don't really want to see it a 4th time now that I know that there's a director's cut coming out, but I don't want to watch it a 4th time, for the interview. Cause I also don't want to get sick of it, but I did like the film, and that's why I don't know if Jack had watched it and I don't know if he's trolling me or not. I don't know. I'm disliking it. So, because remember, he trolled me with The Crow. He said he liked The Crow, and then halfway through the review that the 3 of us were doing, he goes, oh yeah, I hate the movie. So
yeah. Oh, that's funny. So Master Chaos also gave it a 0.5 star. Does he do Letterboxd at all? What's his name? Your shit, the guy you were just talking about, your buddy, the one we did the video with.
Oh, Jack, I don't know.
Okay. I was just wondering about you maybe seeing if he did a Letterboxd on it or whatever. But we'll dive into it more another day. We're already 2 hours and 10 minutes in tonight. But another time we'll get together and we'll talk about more. We'll go into it, because
I will say something funny about Letterboxd is Jonathan Moody went on there, got all pissed off about the reviews for like his films, because he's done like 2 movies. And then we looked at Axmus. All his films were like 1 star. Axmus is like 3 stars, 3.5.
Oh, that's
and he was
funny.
all pissed off. He's just like, why are your movies getting such good reviews and mine are getting bad? And I'm like,
take a look in the mirror, buddy. I don't know. I can write 1 review. I can't write them all. But I'll leave everybody hanging. And if you follow me on Letterboxd, which my link is down below, you can go see what I wrote about it. I think it's kind of funny. I ended it by saying, save yourself the pain and wait for the real Mickey Mouse killer.
Wow.
So I'm not a fan, but anyways, we'll talk about it more another day. We'll dive into it, and and debate some of the different scenes and stuff. But so I do want to mention to everybody a couple other movies I've seen recently. A new one that just came out called Daddy's Head. I think that was on Hulu. So it's about a kid whose mom is already dead, and a dad has got a fiance, and they're living with the fiance. Well, then the dad gets killed, and so the son is left with the fiance, and the son hates her because she's replacing his mom. And then like this weird shit starts happening, and they start getting haunted by something, this creature that has like the dad's head, but it's a creature. It had so much potential, but it was terrible. I gave it 1.5 stars. And then I just watched Baghead. Have you ever seen Baghead? That's the one where it's a British girl who her dad dies, her estranged father dies, and she inherits this pub in like London. And down in the basement, they find out because this guy shows up who wants to connect with his dead ex or his dead wife. And so he's like, no, my wife is in your basement. We have to go down there. So they go in the basement, and there's this hole in the wall, and this creature comes out of the hole with a bag on its head. And you give the creature an item that belonged to a person, and that it will bring that person back for 2 minutes. But if you go beyond 2 minutes, bad shit starts happening. So it's a great movie. Let's see what I gave it. 3.5 stars. Some minor issues and stuff, but Baghead, very good movie. I think I saw it on Amazon recently. And then I watched another one, Hangman, from, well, it's also 2024 this year. New Hangman movie. Have you seen that?
No.
So that one, it says, to mend their troubled relationship, a middle-aged door-to-door salesman, Leon, takes his son on a camping trip into deep rural Appalachia. This is a black dad and son. They go into redneck racist country.
Great.
Little do they know of the mountain region's sinister secrets. A local cult has summoned an evil demon born out of hate and pain, known to them as the Hangman. And now the bodies have begun to pile up. Leon wakes up in the morning to discover his son is missing and has to find him. So as Leon goes, they're camping, everything's fine. They go to bed in the morning. He wakes up, son's gone, and then bad shit starts happening. He runs into all these people, and it gets crazy. It had such potential, but the lead actor in it is terrible. There's a few things that are really bad about it, but I think it's worth a one-time watch. I gave it 2 stars out of 5. It has a lot of potential. So The Hangman and Baghead are 2 other movies that I watched recently that I just wanted to throw out there. So John, do you have a Letterboxd?
Yeah, I think I do. I don't.
Okay.
I think I started it to just see what people were saying about Aximus and stuff. So I could look at the reviews. I probably should. You know.
I recommend it. And I mean, so, what I love about it is, I'll just show you this real quick. So this is my diary, apparently my Mick diary. But it's got the date and the movie I watched. Now, some people, like Master Chaos, will go in and they will write long reviews and everything. You could see Paranormal Activity Next to Kin. I just gave it a score, 4 stars, and I hearted it. And that's it. I didn't write anything about it. Some movies I'll write stuff, some I won't. But any of your friends, you can go see what they wrote. So My Killer Podcast, she wrote, check out the review on YouTube. So she's telling everybody to go check out her YouTube channel. So that's one way. But I found out about it because viewers on here asked me if I had a Letterboxd. But I just love it because I can keep track of what movies I have or haven't seen, and I can kind of go back and refresh my memory. And so, like yesterday, Paranormal Activity, Sinister 2, House of the Devil, The Hangman, 4 movies within a 24-hour span there Day before, Baghead, Azrael, Sinister. Day before that, Conclave, Venom, Oculus. So, I mean, to me, it's just nice. Most of these movies I haven't, written anything about. Every once in a while, I will start writing something. But it's nice, just to kind of keep track of what you've seen. So anybody who's curious about the movies I'm seeing, you can find them on Letterboxd. If you have a Letterboxd and you want to know my thoughts and I haven't mentioned it, you can message me and ask me, and I'll write something about the movies on there, or we'll talk about them in a video or something. But for me, it's mostly the diary portion, keeps track. And so mine goes back to I started September 30th of 2021. And I know there's some movies I've forgotten to put on there. Actually quite a bit, because I think it only has about 500 movies total that I've done. Well, let's see. I think it has my, and I've only logged 450 movies since 2021. And I know there was probably like a year that I didn't do any at all. And then you could put in your favorites and stuff you've watched recently. So, and there's, here's Sinister 2. I just wrote basically not a fan of the main evil ghost kid. He's a bad actor. And then I write Children of the Sinister Corn, because Sinister 2, very much Children of the Corn vibes, but it's a Sinister movie. And then for Prince of Darkness, I just wrote Watched Again because I saw it. And then Terrifier 3, all I wrote is they forgot to write a story. So, but Scream 3, I wrote quite a bit, there. So, but anyways, you can you can go in there and see if anybody wants. Links are down below. So, and if you start one or if you get yours going again, and it's something you do regularly, I'll drop your link, because your links, all of my videos, your I think is it your Facebook and your YouTube channel are linked down below. So
because I only have I might have seen Instagram, which I don't have anymore. So there's
maybe
Facebook,
I gotta change.
X, and YouTube. That's it for right now.
Okay.
And everything I do on Facebook, I basically do over on X too.
Okay. Is that what, because once I put the links in there, let me give myself a thumbs up. Once I put the links in there, I kind of forget about them. So let me see. Oh yeah, I do have your Instagram. I will fix that. I'll change it over to so Skip John's Instagram. He doesn't have that anymore.
No, I probably should have it, but the Instagram was part of the problem with me losing Facebook, that it got hacked. So I just haven't put it back up yet.
Okay. Well, I'll switch that over to your Facebook, and then throw your Twitter on there too. So, anyways, it's been fun. I know we have a lot more to talk about that we've left on the table, but 7.5 hours of video is enough for you for one day. And we'll call a little over 7 hours.
And I still got to edit too.
For me. See, and that's why I love live streams, because once we click end stream, we are done, sir.
No, when we're done here, then I got to go edit our film discussion and have that up for tomorrow. So,
have fun with that. Hopefully,
it's a good live stream. I mean, it's a good film discussion. So
it was fun. Yes. So
thank you.
If I was you, I would just let it go as is. I mean, I don't think there's much you need to edit, but anyway.
Put the title on the front and the title on the back, and do a little bit of editing on the front and the back.
Do that. Man, I gotta really teach you how to. You can do that stuff on the StreamYard right here. Like at the very beginning when mine starts, I have it set up where it automatically plays this. We don't need to watch the whole thing, but you can put little videos at the beginning of yours or titles and stuff.
It's vamp time.
It is vamp time.
It's vamp time. Talk about ultra terrestrials.
We could talk. Yes, we could.
New episode on Halloween coming out.
I do the little pause at the beginning so I can edit
okay. I'm just saying, because if you don't have to edit, you don't have to render out all that time. Save yourself a lot of time. But anyways, just food for thought. Some things with the free version you can't do. Like, I don't know if you could get Jesse Pinkman on or not. Let's see what Jesse has to say.
Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch!
Yeah, no, I don't know that you could do that on there. But yeah, speaking of the cock, we better end this video before the cock-a-doodle-doo's crowing in the morning, telling us it's already time to wake up. So, but it's been fun, John. Thanks for hanging out. And again, everybody,
thank you for
John,
being on mine.
John has a few different videos coming up. So be sure to check them out. Link is down below. Subscribe over there. Anything else you want to mention before we head out?
No, just the regular stuff, just trying to get back into the writing and directing it again to get all that stuff done. And one of the bigger videos I'm going to be doing is actually with Miranda Dudley, and we're going to be looking at all the Marvel movies. So
good luck with that. YouTube, bring your boxing gloves.
Yeah. Yeah, so
that'll be an interesting one.
Oh yeah. So we'll see how that goes. So that should hopefully be fun.
Yeah. Now I know you have some different opinions on things over there, so that's going to be interesting.
Oh, she worships the mouse, and I think they should burn Disney to the ground. So
nice. Well, okay. So as soon as we hit the credits out here, John, I'm gonna let you go so we can run, use the restroom or whatever we got to do. But I'll talk to you later. And everybody, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It has been a lot of fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Horror Movie Monday. I'll be back live. We're doing it again. Okay. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Oh no, wait. Damn it.